Well, today we're at the Hollywood Museum here in Hollywood, California, at my exhibit. I'd like to thank Danelle Denigan and Bob Pranga and everyone here at the Hollywood Museum for this amazing honor. I'm being recognized as one of the first openly gay stand-up comics here in Hollywood. And when I was asked, I thought, first of all, do I have to live in a little glass box and wear a caftan? And there would be a label that said, 1970s homosexual in his natural environment. But no, they just wanted some memorabilia of my career. I was made a regular at the Comedy Store on Sunset Boulevard in 1989. Mitzi Shore gave me a great break and was very brave. And from there on in, I've certainly gotten jobs because I was a gay comic, and I've lost jobs because I'm a gay comic. But for nearly 30 years, I have been working as a headlining comic. And these are some of the mementos from my career. The first time I ever did stand-up at an open mic was the Comedy Store, and I was too naive and too green to know that I'd really hit the Broadway of stand-up. And Mitzi Shore made me a regular the first night, and my career took off. The photo underneath that is of some other amazing stand-up comics, Sandra Valls, Jenny McNulty, and of course, the lady all the way to your right is my gal pal, Mary Kennedy. Mary Kennedy is an LGBTQIA ally and one of my besties. She and I travel country as co-headlining stand-up comics, and it's been a joy. How'd you get so rich? I wrote for Joan Rivers, and Joan was marvelous. She was very kind to me. It was fast-paced. We didn't actually sit and write. We ran side by side next to her, feeding her one-liners. I learned a lot, and I loved Joan. Once again, an amazing break in my career. I teach stand-up comedy. That's one of my classes with Mary Kennedy at the Fourth Wall here in Hollywood. Another big win for me, I got to play Betty White's grandson in an episode of Off Their Rockers. At the same time, I was playing Rose Nylund in an all-male version of The Golden Girls, the Lost episode. It's a brilliant piece. As an openly gay comic, and as we began talking about it, and as entertainment began to notice it, really wonderful projects came out. And I finally got to do Love, Valor, and Compassion here in the San Fernando Valley. And this is the poster for it. I waited till I was 63 years old to appear nude on stage, as I did in Love, Valor, Compassion. So on the mannequin, those white satin shorts spent many an evening at Studio One in the late 70s, which it might go around my thigh now. The t-shirt there is from the Riviera Comedy Club. I was one of the first openly gay comics to appear in Las Vegas at the Riviera. The little plastic thing you see at the neck is actually a memento from the Cannes Film Festival in 1988. My first screenplay was optioned by a Canadian film company. I wrote a wonderful comedy with my friend Kevin McKelvey, and it went to the Cannes Film Festival. These handmade playbills were done by my partner, Jim O'Day. He was a contemporary impressionist, and he so believed in what I was doing. So he would sit and make a little playbill as a beginning comic. I treasure them today. He passed of AIDS in 1993. This belt that you see, the sparkly belt, is actually mentioned in the film. It also is from the disco era. The dress behind is Rose Nylund's dress from that amazing production of The Golden Girls, the Lost episode. That headshot is one of my very first professional headshots when I was about 21. The sparkly, amazing jacket was from Neiman Marcus. It had the original label in it. It was $400, but I found it at a garage sale for $20. And it spent quite a few evenings with me on different stages across America. This black and white playbill is from my one-man show, Secrets of a Beverly Hills Shampoo Boy. The black and white photograph is a nod to George Horrell and the glamour photographs of the golden age of Hollywood. I was 23 years old when that photograph was taken, and we used it as a backdrop when I would open my show. I opened the show with my back to the audience, staring at a huge blow-up of that black and white photograph. My show opened with, "Every morning I like to take a few moments and contemplate myself." The wedding dress is also from Secrets of a Beverly Hills Shampoo Boy. It is how I ended the show. The show really was an encapsulation of my life all the way up to the loss of my partner. And right after he passed, a very sweet guy asked me out for a couple of dates and then proposed to me. And this was in 1995. Well, I used it as a device in the show. The wedding dress itself has an amazing history. A friend of mine got left at the altar. The guy never showed up at her wedding. And when I was writing Secrets of a Beverly Hills Shampoo Boy, I was looking for a wedding dress. And even in thrift stores, they were like $200. I remember asking in the break room, does anyone know where I can get a wedding dress? She said, I have one. And I said, oh my gosh, Sheila, can you bring it tomorrow? She was a bigger girl than I was. I had to take it to a dressmaker who cut it down to my size then. Now, after that show ran for nearly a year in Beverly Hills, I had to enter through the kitchen and that dress was getting a little greasy. So I took it to my neighborhood dry cleaners. They were a wonderful couple that I'd been using for years. And I brought it in on a Monday because the theater was dark on Monday nights and said, can you clean this up? And thank you very much. And can I pick it up Friday afternoon? So when I showed up Friday afternoon, he said, Mr. Paul, oh my gosh, and ran off. And I stood there. He and his wife came out. She had the tape around her neck. And they said, Mr. Paul, we're so happy. Can we meet her? And I went, what? They said, well, congratulations. And I went, oh no. They brought it out in a big blue box. They didn't just clean it, they preserved it. And that's an expensive issue. I was like, a friend of mine had hers preserved for like $250. And I'm like, I said, well, how much do I owe you today? They said, no, our gift, Mr. Paul, please bring her in. And they both hugged me and I put the box under my arm and I had to change dry cleaners. Mary and I on the red carpet as we opened the Hollywood Museum. This is also Mary and I at the Daytime Emmys. That photograph is of our dear friend, Judy Tenuta. This photograph was done by a very famous photographer here in Hollywood, Michael Lampert. He did a print of this that hung over his toilet in his studio. And people would say, it's such a compelling photograph. He really is kind of beautiful. I don't find any problem with the bride having a full beard. This dress doesn't belong to me. I share this case with Phyllis Diller and Rip Taylor. That blue shirt is Rip Taylor's.